Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to be doing another breakfast meal prep for this week. Big old breakfast meal prep because we are still kind of getting in the groove of back to school. The boys have been back to school for about 2.5 weeks. They're in TK and in first grade. So our mornings, we don't quite have 100% of a routine yet. So having these breakfasts made up all week has been a really big lifesaver in the mornings for us. So lots of options for the boys to pick from. I have to wake them up every morning. They do not wake up in time on their own. They're exhausted from full day of school, and we're in the middle of soccer season right now also. So tons of activities. So they are tired little boys. But having all these breakfasts prepped, ready to go has been so awesome. So I'm going to make some more breakfast for this week. I'm going to do breakfast sandwiches, and it's going to be English muffin, egg, Canadian bacon, and cheese. For my eggs for breakfast sandwiches, I make them on a sheet pan. So I'm going to do sheet pan eggs, and then I'll cut them out in circles the same size as the English muffins. I'm also going to do overnight oats. Zachary loves oatmeal. And I was going to do my mason jar omelet, little mason jars, but the boys wanted me to make a batch of pancakes. So I have not made them pancakes in a while, so I'm going to do a batch of pancakes for this week for them. So I'm going to get everything prepped, ready to go for the week so that we can continue to have nice and smooth mornings before school. Getting out the door to school and work is sometimes a little hectic. Well, all the time a little hectic. So having these breakfasts ready to go has been wonderful. Make sure you click subscribe to my channel if you are looking for some easy meal prep ideas. I love being organized, love making healthy food for the family. So I have tons of that kind of stuff on my channel. So make sure you subscribe. Leave me a comment if you have any questions at all. I'm gonna get all this breakfast cooked up so it's ready to go.
So the first thing I'm going to do is make my sheet pan eggs. I'm going to use 10 eggs for this because I am making a big batch of these sandwiches. So 10 eggs, and then I'm going to use a cup of milk, and I will whisk all this together, and then I will show you how I put it on the sheet pan and bake these eggs, and they turn out so good. All right, I have my just regular cookie sheet, and I have some parchment paper as well. So I'm gonna spray some cooking spray on the cooking sheet, and then I will add on the parchment paper, and that's gonna help it kind of stick to the bottom of the pan. And then I'm gonna add some more cooking spray on top and then pour the eggs over that. And the eggs just come right off of the cookie sheet, nice and flat and really perfect for like a breakfast sandwich. So really easy way, and you can just put these in the oven and basically forget about them. You don't have to keep stirring them like when you make scrambled eggs on the stove. So you just put them in the oven, and they're gonna take about 15 to 17 minutes, and then they'll be ready to go. So they are all cooked. I have my circle cookie cutter, and I am going to just pop these out. They come out so easily and perfect circle for the breakfast sandwiches. So I'm just going to cut all these eggs up, and then they'll be ready to go.
All right, I'm gonna assemble these breakfast sandwiches. So easy, so perfect for the freezer. So that's why I doubled this batch, because they're so good, and I just love having convenient stuff in the freezer when we don't have anything to eat at all. So I have my English muffin. I will add in the egg, the Canadian bacon, and cheese, and then these are so perfect. So I like to kind of like trim the cheese off a little bit so that it's not like one big old huge square. So there we go. So perfect breakfast sandwich. It's so delicious. All right, so I will wrap all these up individually. I store them in like a Ziploc gallon bag, in each one individual, so you can just grab one out each day and leave the rest in the freezer. So love having a big batch of these ready to go.
So now I'm going to make just some regular pancakes. My kids love pancakes and waffles, so I just use just the regular Great Value pancake mix. It is so easy. So just 2 cups of mix, 1 cup of water, and this is ready to go. So I'm just gonna mix this up and make up some pancakes. So I like to just mix it all in my Pyrex like measuring cup, and it just saves a bowl that I don't have to dirty, and I can just pour this straight into my pancake batter dispenser with the little spout from the measuring cup, so it just makes it easier for me. But I love this pancake batter dispenser. It is awesome. I get so much use out of it. I will link it in the description box. I always like to link everything that I use so that if you're looking for anything, I'll take you straight to Amazon and show you that item. So I'm going to pour all the mix in here, and then I will be ready to make my pancakes. All right, I'm just going to make my pancakes on the stove on a flat pan. And my kids, they love pancakes, but they are really weird about how much they're cooked. So they like them like just a light golden brown. And if I cook them and make them dark brown at all, they don't like them. So I have to cook them on super low heat and then keep them as kind of like light brown as possible. But that's how they like them, so I like to make them that way. So these are a little too brown for my kids, but I think they'll still eat them. But I definitely like to get them a little bit less brown, and like this is kind of how they like them with this coloring, and so that's how I try and make them. So I'm gonna make some overnight oats. I have my old-fashioned oats, and I'm gonna do about a cup of oats in my smaller mason jars. I used to make these all the time. So yummy. I would kind of have this as my second breakfast, or kind of like my mid-morning snack, but super good. So for these, I'm going to do the old-fashioned oats, and I have this awesome silicone measuring cup that I love for pouring things. It's really great, and of course got it on Amazon, so I will link it, but I love that measuring cup. It comes in a set. It's really wonderful, but this is the 1 cup size. But so I have my oats, I have chia seeds. I'm going to add in a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of sugar-free maple syrup also, just to make it nice and sweet. And then I'm going to use pureed pumpkin. I think it is so good in these overnight oats, and pureed pumpkin, it's 100% pumpkin, but really, really good, and it's really healthy for you. I was reading an article one time that it is the best canned food for you. If you're going to be eating a lot of canned foods, go for the pumpkin puree. That is very healthy for you. So love to add a tablespoon of that in, especially now that it is almost fall. Trying to get in the pumpkin vibe. Still summer, but trying to kind of feel like it's fall. So 1 tablespoon of the pumpkin puree, and then I will fill these up with almond milk, and they'll be ready to go in the fridge, and they'll be ready for each morning this week. You can either have these hot or cold. So I like to warm mine up a little bit, and I just warm them up in the mason jar and eat them right out of the mason jar. But you can definitely eat it cold also. Either way, delicious.
All right, so breakfast is prepped for the week. I just love having all this ready to go. It makes the mornings so much easier, and freezer-friendly sandwiches are definitely way up there on my list because I love everything that's easy, everything that can just be pulled out of the freezer, which is super quick. So pancakes for the kids, they, like I mentioned when I was making them, they like them like very, very light golden brown. They're really weird, but I have to make them like super light brown. If they're too dark brown, they don't like them. Overnight oats, so good with the pumpkin puree. So all of this is ready to go. Thanks so much for being here, watching my breakfast meal prep for the week. I hope this gives you some motivation to get some breakfast prepped and ready to go to make those mornings a little bit easier. Hope that you have a really great day. Leave me a comment if you have any questions at all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.